this video, I'm going to go over the settings page inside of Notary Gadget. Now, this is going to be a bit of a long video because there's so many different things that you can do on the settings page. And this is where you're typically going to go to customize just about anything inside of Notary Gadget. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is the Google Calendar. So if you want to connect your Google Calendar, which we highly recommend that you do, even if you don't use Google Calendar, you can watch our other video, just type in how to add appointments to my calendar and it'll explain it. But basically we use Google Calendar as a medium in order to add all of your appointments to the calendar on your phone. So if you're already using Google Calendar, you know this, but even if you're using Outlook or something else like that, or Yahoo or whatever, this is an excellent way for you to automatically add every appointment that you put into Notary Gadget gets added to your phone's calendar. And you can watch that video to learn that one. So the other one is text message reminders. If you want to, by default, you can turn on text message reminders. And what that is the system will automatically automatically send you a text message with a reminder of the signing appointment at whatever, reminder time you've set in each signing. The signing default, so this is a great one here too. Here you can choose what's your default mapping service. And this is when you actually click on a signing and it opens up a map. It's going to automatically open it up to Google to calculate that. The default notarial act, this is a great one here. So you don't have to type it in each time. If you're in a state where you have to charge, or where you can charge, like say $10 for the first notarial act and then $2 thereafter, you can set this up and the system will automatically use that to calculate it as well. You have the signing duration. So again, this all correlates with your calendar, how long it's going to put that appointment inside of your calendar for. Do you have a default reminder? What is it? Is it none? Do you want to automatically set it for 1 hour, 2 hours, what have you? Again, we'll use the text message reminder. We'll use all of that information. Do you automatically add every appointment to your phone/calendar via email? In that case, it'll automatically send you an email with an attachment that you can click on, and then you can add it to your phone from there. Now, generally speaking, we say you shouldn't do that. You should always use the Google method. Is much, much better. The second or the last thing here is, do you want to have the system send you an email to remind you? So again, you have that text message option. You have the email reminder option. Again, we usually recommend the text message reminders because all of us get a million different emails, but again, it's up to you. You can automatically turn on the signer appointment reminder. So when you have that turned on, the system's going to automatically email a appointment reminder that's all completely customizable. So you can put it in with your own contact information, everything, and it even goes out of your own email address. But it will automatically send that to your signers at whatever time interval you specify there. And then you have the default signer reminder is how long before the reminder do you want it to send, or before the appointment do you want to send? So a day before, hours before, so on and so forth. And then really important one here is the time zone. So obviously if you're in a different time zone, the system tries to figure it out based on the address that you enter in when you first sign up. But if your time zone's off for some reason, this is the first place to go ahead and check. Another one here is the address for mileage calculation. So if you move or something like that, here's where you're going to edit that mileage address. And the customer or calendar page. So on the calendar page, you can set up, hey, what day do I want my calendar to start on? Do I want it to start on Sunday or Monday? I can use appointment labels. I can use the signer's name, or I can use the city. Completely up to you again. And then here, this is a really powerful one, is the alert section. Is what are these alerts? And what I mean by alerts are, if you go to the signings page, it's all of these icons that you have that appear here. Those are your alert section. So in here, I can turn them on or off. Now, generally speaking, we always say to keep them on. The big one here that's not turned on by default is the appointment confirmed. So if you turn that on, then the system will automatically tell you when you have or have not confirmed an appointment. So this is a great one, especially if you're managing a lot of signings. This is a really helpful one. The invoice not sent. If you never send invoices, you don't care, this is a great one that you can turn off. Now, this is also something that you can turn off on each customer. So if you have certain customers that don't want an invoice and you have others that do, then you can just turn it off for a given customer. And you can do that on the customers page, click on it, click edit, and then I can come over here and I can turn the invoice alert on or off for that particular customer. By default, it's always turned on for each customer. But again, you can change that on a per customer basis. The other thing here is you have obviously the mileage alert. You can turn that on or off. Again, I don't know why you'd ever want to turn that off, but that's, that should alert you to automatically turn on to flag you when you have not entered in mileage for a given signing. Notarial acts not entered. Again, if you're not tracking your notarial acts, which we highly recommend you do, if not, you are literally missing out on on hundreds or thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars in tax savings. So you should really never turn this off. But there are some rare circumstances when people want to turn that off, but that's where you would do it. This is for our new journal, electronic journal that's coming out soon. So you'll be able to turn that on and off here as well. And then here's where you can set up custom fields. So if you want to add a custom field to track signing type, or whatever you might want to put in there, if there's something special you want to track on each signing, you can put that in there as a custom field and it will appear when you enter a signing. The invoice editor, now here if you click edit, this is where you're going to go to edit just about anything on your invoice. It's going to bring up a complete editor where you can customize the colors, add your logo. You can watch the tutorial here for that. The invoice email, so this is that standardized email that you create. When I say standardized, it's actually more customized because you can make it say whatever you want to in there. But here's where you would go to edit any of the sections inside of there. And the next invoice number. Now this is one where the only time you typically want to change this is if you're having some kind of a weird invoicing number issue. And this usually happens when you accidentally enter in like the escrow number or something like that as the invoice number, because the system will try to take whatever naming convention you have and it will try to figure out what the next invoice number is going to be for that. So if something weird happens here, then here's where you would go to change it. And this, how it works, will explain all that. So make sure you click on that before you do. Because if you do reset it and you didn't really want to, that could, it'll end up resetting all your invoice numbers, which could create duplicate invoice numbers and so on and so forth. But just watch that, how it works, and it will make sense. And then here's the landing page. So if you want to change what landing page the software goes to when you first log in, here's where you can do that. So you can click edit here, and then you can change it to either the home page, which is the default, the signings page, or the calendar page. So I hope all this helps to understand a little bit more of the customizability behind Notary Gadget. And certainly if you have any questions about any of it, feel free to drop us a line. Just click on the help icon, click ask a question, and then type it in. Again, we have tons of videos that'll explain most of it. And if not, we'll certainly get back to you with the answer to your question. Hope this helps.